1 minute to post time, approaching the gate. They are at the post. Now they're moving into the gate. Open range.
Hello, Billy Ho here. We are doing a special show today. This is going to be the opening salvo for the Kentucky Derby 149. Yes, it's 2023, and we are just 1 year away from the big 150th anniversary of my favorite time of the year in Louisville, Kentucky. If you don't know me by now, I am Billy Ho. This is Billy Ho Sports. Welcome to the channel. 5 things before we get started. Number 1, smash that, actually, let's do this. Number 1, hit the subscribe button. Number 2, smash the like. 3, join the Discord. Usually 4 is an article, which I have out. I've been putting this Derby article together for, better part of 6 weeks now. It's got a lot of information still to go on it. We just now got new information. Blazing Sevens dropped out of the Derby, which puts Jace's Road back in. So we just shuffled the deck just slightly. So we still got our 20 horses and then our couple of standbys waiting in the wings. So we're going to talk about the top 5 points getters this week. And that's what I'm going to do until we get post position draws and we know a little bit more, because post position this year is going to mean so much to different pace scenarios, running styles. There is a lot of closers this year, very little upfront type speed runners. So it's going to be like everybody jockeying for that mid-pack position and getting ready to make that big run late. So you got to take that into account. So I'm going to go by points. So this week, it's going to be your top 5 points getters: Forte, Practical Move, Angel of Empire, Tapit Trice, and 2 Philly Fills. So, without any further ado, let's get her started.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to start with the number 1 overall points getter, who is Forte. And this is actually what we're looking at right now is the Florida Derby. And we're picking it up in the around the final turn here. And you can see he's Forte's style is to lay back off the pace and then build up momentum and make a big run coming down the stretch. So, it's not a spoiler alert to know that he won this race. His sire, Violence is the name of the horse, was actually second to the Kentucky Derby winner, Orb, in the Fountain of Youth. And that year that Orb won it, and he had high hopes for his own run, but he was injured and then retired. So this is one of his progeny right here, which is Forte. So this is about the 19th time I've watched this, but it seems like every time I watch the replay, it looks like a little bit of a stronger race here. So let's take a look. And we see Forte coming around the edge here. And then you got Mage making a huge move to try to get up in front of him right here. And then you can see how wide he has to swing. And then he just basically just keeps digging in and digging in and digging in. And he eventually finds his right stride. And it's like he knew he had just enough time to get by to win that race. And that was just a really, really strong running by both Mage and our guy Forte. So that was Forte, a look into that most recent prep, which he only got like a 95 buyer speed rating for that race, but I thought it was a better race than the way it looked. I think he was taking what was given to him. Breaking from the outside post, number 11, he had a little bit of traffic, and then he had that move by. I think it's keep calling him Mage, but it's out of Madge. It's out of Good Magic, so I don't know why it wouldn't be called Madge, like magic. So I'm just tossing that out there as we talk. But he overcame some hot fractions to swing wide and get that win. So he's heading in as the number 1 stunner and 3-1 favorite, deservedly so. So if Todd Pletcher might want to try to send Forte out in the first flight of horses, or maybe just the mid pack. I don't think he wants to get him too far back if by chance the pace is a slow one, because if the slower the pace, the harder it is for these closers to get there. So basically, Todd Pletcher, I believe he's going for Derby number 3, and Irad Ortiz is in his 6th crack at the Derby, and he's looking for a win number 1. So really high on Forte. He is a win contender. I know that's like really going out on a limb, but I feel like Forte is definitely formidable first overall. All right, our next horse is the West Coast Special Practical Move, uh, trained by Tim Yakteen, who we all know. Tim Yakteen is Baffert's, like, not underling, but he's the guy that Baffert transferred all his Derby contenders to, so they could actually run for their owners in the Derby, because oh boy is still suspended. He lost his appeal, but this is different. Practical Move has been trained by Tim Yakteen since he's had him. There was no transfer involved in this one. This is Tim Yakteen's horse, probably his best horse he's had as far as that I can think of, because he was a part of the Baffert barn for a long time. Then he went out on his own. Then he went back to Baffert, but back and forth. But Practical Move has won his 2 major stakes races out west, and we're getting ready to take a look at the Santa Anita Derby. So we're clocking him in right here. He's a mid-pack type runner as well, the even money favorite, number 5. You can see on the inside here, running 3rd. So we'll kick it off. And here comes Practical Move. Inside set ground saving trips, both races. So what makes me wonder is, can he get the distance? And that's one thing. And then can he handle any kind of traffic? Because both these races and everybody, that's one thing I noticed about Santa Anita and Del Mar and all those West Coast tracks. All these horses look fast because it's just that dry, I guess, less humid air. And you can see Practical Move right now making the turn for home, and he's just being hand ridden. So he's not under a whole lot of urging right now. Looking back, jockey looking back. Okay, looks like we got a little bit coming at us. All right, let's start scrubbing him, put a little whip to him, keep him engaged. And I think Practical Move is holding him off right here. But the one thing that does slightly concern me is I believe this is like Mandarin Hero and Skinner, 8 and 7, is they do almost run him down another 15 feet, and Practical Move loses that race. So basically, when it comes to West Coast horses, if it's not Bob Baffert himself training them, I'm out. It's just I'm not feeling Practical Move just with the distance. I mean, deserving. I mean, to win both races, stakes races out west is good, but and that running that 100 buyer, but I equate that to about a 96 at another track, and that's just my own opinion. You could call me stupid or whatever. It makes no difference to me. I just think horses run faster out at Santa Anita. There's usually less traffic. You can usually get an easier trip with a decent jock. And when you come to a 20 horse field like you do in the Kentucky Derby, depending on where he is slated, if he gets a nice, good outside position, then he, won't have any problems getting in there. But, the good thing is people are saying they would probably rather have him tucked in on the inside so he can get on the rail faster. So if he does get an outside post, that might mean bad news. So I guess I rephrase that. So on to the next one. Angel of Empire was first in the Arkansas Derby. All right, we're going to pick up the race just past the halfway mark here. And Angel of Empire is horse number 6, you're 9-2. As you can see, another mid-pack to closer. So we'll pick it up here. And there he is right there in the back, just coming into the picture. Number 6, making its move right here, and a really, really great sweeping move by the jock. I got it speeded up here so we can keep up a little bit better. So the horse might look faster, but this move, if you watch it in real time, it just ends the race right here. The race is over right there. As soon as Angel of Empire gets in front, he just takes off and clears the runway for an easy win going away. So that race was pretty impressive. I dug that. Angel only a 94 buyer though, but I guess the close was what made it look good. But Angel of Empire is interesting to me because Brad Cox trainer, Flavian Pratt jockey. Both these guys won their derbies due to disqualifications. So I believe Brad Cox got Mandaloon, who replaced I forget, and then Flavian Pratt rode Country House, who was moved up also in two different years. So anyway, the sire of Angel of Empire is Classic Empire, who ran fourth in the 2017 Derby, second in the Preakness before being retired. And then before that, it was the grandfather, I guess if you want to call it, Pioneer of the Nile, ran second in 2009. And one of my all-time favorite Derby horses that should have won the Derby and probably the Triple Crown, Empire Maker, ran second way back. I believe it was like 2003. But he skipped the Preakness and won the Belmont. So Angel of Empire is a good-looking horse. It's got a lot of moxie, and the Arkansas Derby is really not one of the weaker preps of horses that come in. So I love the pedigree, and I think it's probably a good exacta include, and maybe more in the exotic range. I don't know that I'm there on any kind of win bet for Angel of Empire, but a really, really solid horse. And we'll get into horse number 4 right now, which will be Bluegrass Stakes winner Tapit Trice, who is beginning to steal my heart a little bit, the way he runs. He stumbles out of the gate, but then he just makes up so much ground. First in the Bluegrass, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden by Luis Saez, and a solid horse, deserved number 4. So Tapit Trice is the second horse from the Pletcher barn. He's had like I said, he struggles breaking from the gate, but after getting his sea legs under him, you can see the move. Actually, what happens in this race is they recognize a slower pace. So jockey Saez decides to bring along Tapit Trice early and gets him up into the mix, running about 5th here and coming around the turn inside of Scooby Quando. So here comes the move any second now. There he comes. He's way on the outside there, moving up horses. This is usually reserved for later on, but he decided to get him up closer to the pack. So he's in, like, say, flight number 1 now. And so what that does is the horse like this just does not stop coming. He just seems like he wants to just run and run and run. And you can see verifying clear the air and verifying are kind of bouncing back and forth. And then verifying will try to take on the lead. And then you'll see Tapit Trice coming in on the outside. Your one horse. Big sweeping move. And now it's a head-to-head battle. And they're basically, I mean, this is a pretty strong race. These two guys going at it head-to-head right here. Tapit Trice is on the outside, the gray. And you can just see how he just keeps pushing and pushing, and then finally gets verifying to give way and gets up by a head. Solid race, in my opinion. Tapit Trice, if they can get the gate thing figured out, he's going to be hard to handle coming home as long as the pace isn't too hot. So another good-looking horse, 99 buyer in that Bluegrass race. And then the last horse in this first look is going to be Two Phil's, winner of the Jeff Ruby Stakes in Turfway Park. And this one is just going to be catching the turn, coming for home. And what I'm looking for is I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I didn't want the video to run too long. But basically, this is Larry Ravelli and Jareth Loveberry is the jockey. So those two right there are just inexperienced jockey trainer combo. So that obviously is not for me. That's the first thing that I go against it. But he did earn the highest buyer in the field at 101. So let's see him coming for home. It's Two Phils. Take it away, Two Phils. Two Phils is coming hard down the stretch, and he takes the lead coming for home. And then it's just no doubt about it. So it's, I just wanted to show you that pulling away easily. He did beat Major Dude, who was like this, I guess, up and comer Derby type horse as well. So that was a pretty solid effort going head to head down the stretch with Major Dude. But Phil's ran at 6 different tracks, 3 stakes victories. The recent one here at Turfway, he does seem to find a way to get in contention in almost every race, but I feel like they're just weaker fields. And I feel like horses that go the Turfway route are not the big game changers that you see coming in as far as favorites go. And he's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40-1. So not like an extreme long shot, but it's could be possibly one that might be picking up the pieces coming down the stretch. It seems like a solid stakes horse, but a grade 1 Derby winner is not what I would call it. So not for me. But that's going to do it for the first show. We're going to do 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, 16 through 20, those videos. And then next week, we're going to start hitting them Monday. As soon as the post position draws are complete, I'm going to start breaking these horses down and seeing where they landed. And that's when we're going to really be able to start handicapping and looking at past performances and all that kind of stuff. But out of these top 5, if I had to rank them, I'd still probably put Forte number 1. Tapit Trice is a close second. Then Angel of Empire. Then that Practical Move. Sorry, I almost had a brain fart there. And then Two Phils. Now, these aren't the top 5 horses in people's rankings. They're the top 5 in the Derby Trail points. So that's how they got there. So I hope you liked the video. Stay tuned. We'll have another one out tomorrow. One every day this week, and then we'll start prepping for the big race. Derby week is next week, so looking out. Good looking out. See you soon.